Seattle City Light history, in my opinion, can sort of be broken up into two segments. One has to do with a period of very significant development here in the Skagit area, followed by a period of stewardship that followed on the heels of that very significant period of development. It just so happens that 2005 marks the 100th year anniversary of Seattle City Light's birth. And it's very ironic that this dedication is happening at the same time that we're commemorating 100 years of service to the citizens of Seattle and the surrounding community.
City Light understands its obligations to operate dams in an environmentally responsible way. The utility began working with Skagit tribes and fisheries agencies in the mid-1970s. From that came a plan for fish-friendly dam operation, which went into effect in 1981. Flows from the dams are carefully controlled to protect eggs, juvenile fish, and spawning salmon. And it's working. In the spawning grounds closest to City Light dams, the pink salmon population has increased fourfold and chum salmon sevenfold since 1985.
It's hard to believe that in this very pristine setting, we are producing energy for a very urbanized area, energy that is used to not only light homes, but also power the industry that makes Seattle the urban center that it is today.
In addition to environmentally sensitive dam operation, City Light agreed to support construction and operation of the North Cascades Environmental Learning Center. Its partners in the project were the nonprofit North Cascades Institute and the National Park Service. The three partners broke ground on the project with a tree planting ceremony. Construction began in earnest in 2002. The project was a challenge. The site was remote and access difficult. In fall 2003, severe flooding and rock slides closed portions of the North Cascades Highway and halted construction. Construction resumed in early 2005 and was completed in the spring. In the fall of that year, the partners and the public gathered to celebrate.
The mission of North Cascades Institute is to conserve and restore Northwest environments through education. We're a conservation organization. Education is the tool, the only tool, we have chosen to change the world. It may be slower than some of the other routes we could have picked. Litigation, political advocacy, buying land. But I believe in the long run, and we're here for the long run, this will be the most effective and long-lasting of tools.
This is Dan Williams for Seattle City Light.
Safe, reliable electricity. It's something most of us take for granted until a power failure leaves us in the dark. Seattle City Light understands how hard it is to be without electricity. So when there's an outage, our crews spring into action to find out what went wrong and fix the problem fast. City Light's record of reliability makes us a national leader. We consistently meet our goal of restoring power in 50 minutes or less on average. Lots of things can spark an outage: stormy weather, a car and pole accident, birds and animals touching power lines, or equipment failure. Here's what to do if that happens. This may seem obvious, but the first thing to do is check the circuit breaker inside your home and see if the problem is inside your house. Then check to see if your neighbor's lights are still on. If not, there's probably an outage. Call our power outage hotline at 684-7400 for a recording of all known outages. If your area isn't mentioned, leave your name, address, and phone number. The information we get from customers is essential to figuring out what caused the outage.
Well, what we really need to know is if they have seen or heard anything that would help us determine what the location of that outage is. Because while in many cases we may know that the power's out, if a circuit breaker opens up in our substation, we don't really know why that circuit breaker opened up. Dispatchers in the control center They are the first responders after hours. If you call in to report an outage, that's who you would talk to, and they would take the information on the outage and they would send some first responders out to make an initial assessment of the extent of the outage and determine what was going to be necessary in order to make repairs, and they would report that. The crew that did that initial response would report all that information back to the dispatcher, and then they would make any other arrangements necessary at that point to make permanent repairs.
Major problems light up the big board right away, while we depend on you to let us know about smaller outages.
Cases where none of the customers can have seen anything that will help us locate the outage, we have to send a crew to the substation to patrol the line from the substation out to its end until they can find what that problem was.
A simple equipment failure or downed line can be fixed in minutes, while some repairs may take hours. The power that comes into your home is fed from one of City Light's many substations located in neighborhoods throughout Seattle. All the substations are connected, so if the lines to one substation are knocked out in a big storm, we can often restore power to your area by rerouting it from another substation.
We have a number of circuits that run out and serve the metropolitan area, and the way the system is designed basically is that the circuits run between two different substations, which give you two different sources of power. So that way, if one of the sources of power is lost, then you can use the other source to restore the power to those people who are experiencing an outage.
On rare occasions, we may not be able to restore power until the next morning, or even days later. That's why it's good to have a power outage kit that includes a flashlight with fresh batteries and glow-in-the-dark stick lights. Avoid candles, oil lamps, or anything with an open flame. A portable radio and wind-up clock may come in handy. Make sure you have plenty of stored food and water in case of an earthquake or other catastrophe. Most hot water tanks will retain heat for up to 24 hours. If you expect a long outage, use hot water sparingly. Keep the refrigerator and freezer closed as much as possible to keep food fresh. A full refrigerator will provide safe temperatures for up to 6 hours. A full freezer for up to 2 days. If in doubt, throw it out.
We're still without power.
And falling power lines gave one of our photographers a fright of his life this morning. Yeah, well, that was
Downed wires are deadly. Always keep a safe distance and don't approach anything in contact with the downed wire.
Our photographer
Call Seattle City Light right away. Or if you see sparks or a fire, call 911. During storms, you should expect bumps, which are momentary outages caused by branches brushing against power lines. Proper tree trimming is essential to preventing bumps and fallen power lines. Let us know if you need a temporary disconnect or advice about tree trimming. With your help and a little cooperation from Mother Nature, you can count on your Seattle City Light to keep the lights on. This is Eric Polson reporting for Seattle City Light.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know.
Thanks for watching. It's a different Netline. I'm Nettie Dose with Seattle City Light.
your voice. So what would you imagine to be a soft, fluffy sound? What about a big purple ball of yarn?
Yeah, purple.
Or a slinky piece of red cloth? Or a bunch of very bright colors all together? Okay, so you got the idea. The things that I tried to keep in mind when I was making things for the dancers to use were to put my materials together in a way that was visually interesting because of, just seeing it in itself, but also things that had different movement qualities or suggested different movements. Now, a piece of cloth hanging suggests a different kind of movement than a rigid stick. And it also suggests different sounds, which could then come from the musicians. So in that way, we've all kind of exchanged our elements and come up with a whole piece incorporating elements from all three. Now, these materials are all rather crude, and they're obviously scraps from my studio, but you can put them together in any way that feels right to you today. Like you could put together ingredients that suggest the mood that you're in today, or suggest something that's come out of the movements that you've been doing already. Just for some examples, combining a rigid stick with a flowing piece of cloth, just tying it on, you can combine them and come up with a flag. Or, this is always fun to play with, can be wrapped up with yarn and tied in different ways. Just play. I mean, I'm not going to say what you have to do with it. Just suggestions. But I have scissors and.
Okay. And just keep in the back of your head that maybe this will give you some ideas about how to interpret your sculpture and movement, like whether it's a strong sculpture or not quite so strong, or whatever kind of sound comes from your sculpture, whatever. Just keep that in the back of your mind. But fill up the space. Start moving around.